Hello, and yes, that is right. I am indeed, of course, oi, oi, it's your boy. From across the pond, UK. Finest Ricky J, bringing you the hottest intakes, bold predictions, and straight up banter. Welcome to where the bell never stops ringing. Welcome to the People's Wrestling Podcast. Right off the bat, sorry for any technical difficulties. We, of course, do this. I'm still on the hunt for a co-host co-host for this podcast. If you want that to be you, let me know. Also, of course, check out my SmackDown watch along happening later on in a few hours, in fact. And also this Sunday, I will have not one, but two people joining me for my clash in Italy watch along. But let's get right into, because it is a packed episode, lots to get through, lots to chat. So let's suicide dive right into the first segment with what's cooking at the table. So what have I been up to since last week? More the same, really. No changes. Heading to the gym. Going to my craft class, and I didn't make one of these. So a half and half. Did make one of those. Early before I came on here, did do Crown Green Bowling, and that's pretty much it. That's really all I've been up to. Got more of the same coming up, but guys, you let me know what you've been up to and what you've got coming up. See a few numbers coming in. Remember to share, like, subscribe, drop some comments. Let me know, guys, what you have been up to. As we get into segment number 2, a tag team of segments. And this one, of course, is all about the glitz, the glamour, the red carpet, the Hollywood Walk of Fame, because it can only be movie talk. So what movies have I been watching since the last time I was on here? Well, 2 in fact, and they are Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan Ghost War. This was okay. I'm going to give it a B-. And the second movie I've watched, The Sheep Detectives. This was okay. A little bit funny. Felt like the directors, the producers, maybe of Babe, who are talking sheep in this, trying to solve a crime. It was okay, and it also gets a B minus. Before I go any further, and I should have done this at the beginning, but next week, do need to tune into next week's episode where Nick from the Forbidden Podcast will be here. In fact, the Forbidden Podcast is live right now here on the Hardcore Sports Network. So hello to all of you. But yes, he will be on next week's episode as we break down what went down at Clash in Italy. And I want to do more news to discuss and more news to talk about, which nicely brings me to, as we head into the studio, the news alerts are coming in. Read all about it, they say, because it is the video plays. Ugh. News and headlines. On my end, it is running a little bit slow. On my end, the screen has shrank. I mean, 1 minute, whole 60 seconds ago, back out, back in. On my end, the screen has gone small, so I do need to change that. But bear with, bear with. Bear with 1 more minute, guys. 1 more minute. And the screen on mine is still small. Sorry about this. Technical difficulties with StreamYard. 1 more minute. There we are. My apologies. I have fixed it. The screen on my end and just shrank, so my apologies for that. But yes, we do have, and it should be working a lot more smoother now, hopefully. But we do have, my apologies for these technical difficulties, all of that. We do have news and headlines, and that news is Big Damo and Nikki Cross by Progress Wrestling. Therefore, Progress Wrestling sold. So guys, get your thoughts in on this for those that know what Progress Wrestling is. I do want to hear from you. Do sound off, as I always say. So this is interesting to me. This is interesting to me. Do go to Progress. Been to a number of their shows. We'll probably go to one of their, another one in the near future. So this is big news. I never thought that the owners are going to coming through here. Someone trying to promote their Twitch. Anyway, I never thought that Lee McIntyre and Martin Best would sell Progress Wrestling. Thought they would have it forever. Progress Wrestling has had a few owners, and now of course Big Damo and Nikki Cross, or Nikki Storm, she's going to be called, own it. So I'll be very interested to see what direction these will take. These two will take Progress Wrestling. I believe it's going to be going under a new name, if I'm not mistaken. Absent Mark Wrestling. I don't know. That was just something I read. Apparently the name is no longer going to be called Progress Wrestling. So it's interesting if that is true. But yes, my take on it, my thoughts on it are be interesting to see what direction Big Damo and Nikki Cross or Nikki Storm take the future of Progress Wrestling. And we go ahead and very quickly just delete some of these pictures on here. Don't even give me StreamYard any more of a reason to go slow on me. Let me just delete these. Give me 1 second. 1 second. So yeah, do you guys get your thoughts in about Progress Wrestling and the new owners of it? As we go right into, of course, let me take that down. One second. Let me take that down very quickly. So we're now going to go right into an unboxing. That is right. It is that time of the month. Once again, Wrestle Crate unboxing. So let's get right into this and see what is inside this time. And then we're going to take a quick break. In fact, guys, I'm going to play that ad right now because the weather's getting hot, the sun is out, summer's coming in, spring is finally here. And you're going to want to represent. You're also going to want 3 shout-outs, a pinfall of 3 shout-outs, and me inducted to the People's Wrestling Channel Hall of Fame. Yes, the People's Wrestling Channel Hall of Fame. And how do you achieve that? You go out, you represent, just like this. That is right. Protein Tees Gummers 1. Yes, Protein Tees Gummers 1. Buy them, unpackaged them. And speaking of unpackaging things, Wrestle Crate unboxing time. So t-shirt goes off to the side as always. So we have in next month's Wrestle Crate will be Kevin Owens autograph. In this one we have 2 pins because one of the pins was meant to be in the last crate. It wasn't. They put it in this, so I've got the one that was meant to be in the last one, and that's a pipe bomb CM Punk pin. In this one, we've got a 2 sweet pin. Also got, oh, this is cool, a Wrestling Night Decision dice. So these are like dice, I think. One second. So it's very, very cool. So you've got on it what food you're gonna have. So burger, picky tea, Indian, kebab, Chinese. And on the next one, you've got Golden Era, PG Era, Attitude Era, New Gen, Modern Wrestling, or Dealer's Choice. And then on the other dice, it's or Old School Wrestling, Japanese, Hardcore, Big Company, Indie, or anything live. So they're pretty cool, like wrestling dice. That's very, very cool. Also got Big Book of Wrestling Puzzles, which will definitely keep me busy. You've got in words such as nicknames, tag teams, crosswords, and that's what they're called. So that's cool. Also got Night of the Four Horsemen, so that gives me something else to watch. This is a really good Wrestle Crate so far. Not one but 2 autographs. The first one is UK's own Wolfgang, and the second one being Yeet. It's Jey Uso, that is right, Jey Uso's autograph in this month's Wrestle Crate. And then, of course, the t-shirt is give me 1 second, take the little sticker off. Give me 1 second. So Taking Souls and Digging Holes, so Undertaker t-shirts. That's a very nice, very cool t-shirt this time. So that's what I've got in this month's Wrestle Crate. So really, really good. Really nice selection there. But speaking of opening gifts, speaking of opening packages, speaking of being joyous and happy, It is now time for a little bit of a celebration. It is now time for that is right. Wrestlers' birthdays. So who is celebrating a birthday today? Well, they are Nia Jax. So in no real particular order here. The new international champion Konosuke Takeshita, Nia Jax, Ridge Holland, Pete Gas, the Brian Kendrick, Hornswoggle, and Steve Corino. A big happy birthday to all of you today. I hope you celebrate your style. So now let's get into chatting and talking and nattering and having a conversation about today's wrestling scene. And we do that with Wrestling Roundup. Nothing of note for Dynamite, so we're going to dive right into last week's Evolve, because I did last week's podcast before I watched Evolve, so you're getting double Evolve results here. So last week saw Layla Diggs beat Anya Roon, Chaz Starboy Hall defeated CJ Valor, Drew Martinez in the ring, Prison Angels came out, then Aaron Rourke did, it was a contract signing, and to end the night, Tate Wilder pinned Cam Hendricks. So cool win for Layla Diggs. Same deal for Chaz Starboy Hall. Contract signing cool. And Tate Wilder again cool. I'm going to give last week's Evolve half thumbs up. Getting into Friday Night SmackDown of last week that saw Rhea Bloody Ripley coming out. Then Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss did. Then Phil Influence did. Kicking off the night with in-ring action. Talatonga got the 1, got the 2, got the 3 on Shinsuke Nakamura. Tiffany Stratton retained against Lash Legend. Trick Williams and Little Yachty came out to get on the stick, and Carmelo Hayes did, which led to a match, non-title, but Trick Williams went over. A match has been made for Clash in Italy, which I'll get into my predictions here shortly. Phil Influence came up short against Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. Solo Sequoia sent packing Damian Priest, and then Cody Rhodes got the dub against Sami Zayn and gone through attack. Let me go through all of that. So the Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Phil Influence stuff was a setting of a match. What has happened to Shinsuke Nakamura? But if Teleton is going to get a push, I'm not too opposed to that, I guess. Tiffany Stratton retaining, no shocker. Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, good match. Phil Influence, unfortunately, now just feel like just another tag team, just another 3 women or another faction. Call it what you like on the roster. Solo Sequoia beating Damian Priest, cool, and Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Gunther, all of that. I'm going to leave what I think is going to happen for my predictions. But for those that weren't watching my SmackDown watch along, where were you? I'm going to give SmackDown a rating of a half thumbs up. And for those that were watching my SmackDown watch along, my apologies that I actually fell asleep. Was absolutely worn out. Have been to a show that earlier that night. Didn't have had much sleep. Was really feeling it. So my apologies. I actually did fall asleep. I didn't really call much of the action. I wasn't on screen much for last week's SmackDown watch along. But yeah, my apologies. So it's getting to last week's, so the latest Saturday Night main event that saw 6 women's tag team action kick off the evening. It's gonna be 1 second here. 1 second. I'm going to double check whether I've got the order of the matches correct and right. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Almost there, we're almost there, we're almost there, and we're there. So, yeah, 6 women's tag team action that saw Jade Cargill, B-Fab, and Meeching get the upper hand against Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, and we replaced Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. So Ruka won via DQ against Becky Lynch. Penta retained. Paige and Brie Bella also retaining, and the Vision were the third to retain. So, good 6 women's tag team match. Totally build momentum for Jade heading into this Sunday's Clash in Italy. So, Ruka Becky Lynch was an okay match. That's, I'm just going to leave it as that. Penta, Ethan, that was good. Decent women's tag team match. And decent main event. Wasn't sure that anybody retained. And it gives Saturday night's main event also a half thumbs up. Getting into AEW Double or Nothing. I told you it was a packed episode. And I've still got predictions to come here. And just a very quick review of the latest show I went to, so we're not even done here by a long shot. I'm also going to just double check I have got this correct for you guys, the order of matches, because there were a lot of matches at Double or Nothing. I want to check that I'm giving you the good stuff. So, on the pre-show, Divine Dominion survived Zeta Steel and Viva Van. Death Riders, Riders put away the Ops, and Big Boom AJ, along with his team, continues that winning streak. Usually, I think that the pre-show 0 hour buying, call it what you like, for Double or for AEW is pretty good. This was very sloppy women's tag team match. Really thought nothing of it. And I really didn't think anything of the other two. The only thing really, they've got something going with Big Boom AJ still being undefeated, unbeaten. So that at least that's something. Get into the main show. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Didn't quite catch the whole of the first match. Only watched little bits of it, but when I saw of it, I did enjoy. And that was Corbin Christian taking away the AEW Tag Team titles from FTR in a New York Street Fight I Quit match. Konosuke Takeshita is your brand new international champion. And Athena got the better of Mina Shirawaka, and Jon Moxley held on to the Continental Championship. So, we're going through all of that. Like I said, the first match I can't really comment on because I didn't watch much of it, but what I saw of it was good and great for Corbin Christian. Cool. Konosuke Takeshita the new champion. I predicted that. This was a good match also. Athena advancing in the Owen Hart's tournament. Okay. Jon Moxley retaining. Okay. Another 2 people advancing in the men's side of the Owen Hart tournament, and they are Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. Samoa Joe and Bandido unsuccessful in their task. This was no shocker either. Thekla also keeping hold in her possession a championship. Jericho's team went over in the Stadium Stampede, and MJF is a three-time AEW World Champion. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't taken aback by Thekla retaining. The Stadium Stampede, I get his craziness, I get his mayhem, but I think the tennis balls were a little bit WWE-esque. Did it really matter who won? Whatever. And MJF taking back the AEW Men's Championship. I probably would have maybe kept it on Darby Allin, because I think I would have maybe, I don't know, I don't really know how I feel about this, but maybe had Darby Allin continue these title matches every week. You're making him look really undefeated, but also he's getting battered and beaten up every week. And then Will Ospreay takes the title at All in Wembley, in London, sorry. But I'm not overly fussed that MJF won. I'm going to give Double or Nothing a big thumbs up. As an overall pay-per-view was good. For those saying it was the best pay-per-view of 2026, I think I'm going to say WrestleMania Night 2 beats it. For me, AEW, like I say this every single time, overloaded, way too long. Not every single pay-per-view has got to be looking like WrestleMania. I think the sweet spot is 6 matches, maybe 7, perhaps 8. So I'd put two on the pre-show and have 6 on the main card, but that's just me. Getting into Monday Night Raw, that saw Paul Heyman in the ring, Oba Femi came on out. Penta retained the Men's Intercontinental Championship, again as he took on Javon Evans. Austin Theory destroyed Joe Hendry. Bailey and Lara Valkyria picking up a W. The Judgment Day women, not so much. LA Knight promo. Jimmy Uso came out. Seth Rollins got his hand raised high against Montez Ford. So we go through all of that. So the Paul Heyman over Femi stuff just hypes up the match at Clash in Italy. Penta retaining. This was a good match. And Javon Evans just getting the title shot is fine with me. Austin Theory attacking Joe Hendry, okay. Bailey, Lara Valkyria, maybe they now need to be put back into the women tag team title picture. LA Knight and Jimmy Uso, okay. Seth Rollins winning again, okay. Rey Mysterio proving he still got it against Rusev. Ethan Page was on commentary. Fight at the end of the match. Out comes Dragon Lee to make the save. And then to end Monday Night Raw, Adam Pearce in the ring is a contract signing. Jericho Fatu makes his way out, and then Roman Reigns does. Like I say, Rey Mysterio still got it, but I think, I don't know. Maybe Rusev should have won this. Maybe it's probably going to lead to a tag team match next week. Maybe Rusev and Ethan Page win that. And then the contract signing just hyped up the main event for Clash in Italy. And I give Raw almost a thumbs up, like I said, about there for those who watch my Raw watch along. Getting into NXT, Kalani Jordan began the night on the winning side. Dark State came out on the stick. Sean Legacy going one-on-one against Dory Van Duke in a speed match. It was a draw. Jada Parker knocked off Layla Diggs. Tony Angelo came out for a promo. Then Naraku did. And then Cam Hendricks did. Romeo Marino in a speed match. In a speed match, got victory against Nathan Frazier. So we go through all of that. So Kalani Jordan, I think you now need to put her into the title picture. She is racking up some wins. Dark State, decent promo. Sean Legacy, Dory Van Duke, draw, cool. Jada Parker probably does need some wins under her belt. The Tony Angelo, Naraku, and Cam Hendricks stuff, interesting. Romero Marino beating Nathan Frazier. This is, for me, really cool. Romeo Marino, new face on the scene, and he's beating someone on the main roster. And Nathan Frazier taking his loss doesn't really damage Frazier. So, cool. Charlotte Hill took on the winner's share of the purse against Charlie Dempsey. And to end things on NXT, Lola Vice retained. So Charlotte Hill continues his winning. He's getting some wins. And Lola Vice retaining. Izzy Damon looks good in defeat, so I've got no problem with that. I give NXT almost a thumbs up. Onto this week's Evolved. That's right. Double Evolve results that saw Harlan Lewis by DQ come out on top. Sloan Jacobs and Nikita Lyons took home the win against, and they took it away from Wendy Cho and Lenny Luck. Aaron Rourke keeps that title around his waist, over his shoulder, however he chooses to carry it. The Mod Squad came out, and then Cappuccino Jones, Sam Holloway, and Marcus Mathers did. So, it looks like they're now turning Harlan Lewis face, I guess. Nikita Lyons can't even get a match in a tag team match, and his rumors that Jimmy brought up to the main roster. Hoi! Aaron Rourke retaining, no shock here. Looks like playing a match set up next week, a multi-man tag team match of some sort. And I give this one a half thumbs up. And am I done here? Am I? Hell, guys. Because next up is, I'm going to get my thinking going on, as it is time for... One second. That is right. It is time for... I'm going to leave this up as I'm doing this. Clash in Italy predictions. So, in no real particular order... I think that Sol Ruka does take the title. So Sol Ruka Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship. I think Sol Ruka takes the title. I think she has to do. Otherwise, for me personally, she becomes just another woman on the roster. Said this before, I say it again. I don't think her theme music helps at all. I think having a generic theme song for me sets her back. So I think she needs this win. Brock Lesnar over Femi. I think Brock Lesnar does win here, and it's a third match at Night of Champions, and Oba will probably win that. Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill go at it, contesting for the Women's WWE Championship. Rhea Ripley will indeed walk out still the champion. And then I can't see her defending again until SummerSlam. I don't think she defends next month at Night of Champions or at Saturday Night's main event in July, but we shall wait and see. Cody Rhodes, Gunther for the Men's WWE Championship. I want Gunther to win. I'm gonna say he does win. Cody is stale. Cody is boring. Take the title off him. If it's not Gunther, who else? Orton, I've heard nothing whether he's due back next month or not. The rumours were he was, but is he? Who knows? So I'm going to say Gunther does take the gold. And then Roman Reigns, Jericho Fatu, Tribal Combat, the Men's World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns remains champion. So I've got one final segment to do here, but I've got one final ad to play, and that is this one right here. That is right. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Just one final segment to do, and that is my outs and abouts, where I've been. And we do that with Wrestling Days Out. So, the latest show I went to last Friday, this is why I was tired on the SmackDown watch-along stream, and it wasn't on screen for much, and slept through it all. Not that the SmackDown was thrilling, but it is what it is. So the show I went to was BTW WrestleMania. Was a decent enough show. Do go and check out my vlog for it. I urge you to do that. Easy enough to get there. Nice little venue that they use. Probably perfect for wrestling. Nice cheap drinks. Did get to meet a wrestler as well. And yeah, it was a decent show. May or may not be at the next BTW show. You guys will have to stay tuned to the channel to see if a vlog comes your way for the next BTW show. But yeah, this was a decent show. And I'm going to give it a half thumbs up. So there we are. I'm done for this week. Let me just go ahead and delete these. If they come on your screen, I'm deleting them. So just give me 1 second here. I'm just going to make room. So there we are. Do check out my SmackDown preview coming your way in about 15 minutes. And then, of course, SmackDown watch along. And then this Sunday, Clash in Italy watch along with myself, Mitch, and AK. And then on Sunday also, match and show of the week. So very quickly again, SmackDown preview coming your way in about 15 minutes. SmackDown watch along, and then this Sunday, Clash in Italy watch along with Mitch, myself, Mitch, and AK. And then after that, match and show of the week. Make sure to share, like, subscribe. Share, like, subscribe. Do them as a next milestone. All 420. I'm just 6 away from doing that. But like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. And always remember, but it's Ricky J. We're going to bid his bite to the